Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. There is a lot of speculation on when will the Ukrainian war end. And you can hear all kind of experts and analysts talking about that and this. And unfortunately, a lot of them are infused with an ideology or with an agenda. And when you are infused with that kind of influence, it's hard to really reach the accurate conclusion or determination on something, because you tend to ignore certain things and you tend to accept others, and you overemphasize the importance of some pieces of information and you minimize some other ones that you might not like or simply ignore them. So we are all like this because we always, like certain things or we don't like certain things. In this case, we might have a preference, but we have to hold our horses and just try to get all the information available as much as we can, verify it, and you know how that is, because a lot of people are lying, as I said, lying, agendas, and preferences and ideologies. So I've been listening today to a retired U.S. Army Colonel Douglas Macgregor's. He has some short videos, it's just audio, talking about the war and about current events in Ukraine and geopolitical maneuvers and all that. And he states that in his assessment, the war in Ukraine will end by mid-October 2022. It's good to also mention the year. And he brings as evidence not the political situation, or not any economic factors that might influence this, not even military changes. He mentions basically one thing, and that is the weather. He says that in his assessment, the war will end then, because by then everything is going to be marshy and it's going to be, you can't move things around. So nature will force everybody to go home and start, making kids, and then come back in March or April, whenever things are again good to fight and continue what you left. He also states that there could be no invasion or counter-offensive, and he uses this argumentation, this reason. He says, first, the Ukrainians do not have the manpower. That's his mantra. He says that they do not have. Where are they going to get their people ready to push forward? They do not have them, in his assessment. And then the main reason that Colonel Macgregor mentions, he mentions this as supporting his claim, is that the Russians do not need, if there's a counteroffensive from the Ukrainians and they try to advance, he said the Russians do not even need army to fight on the ground as, operational with, assault weapons and all that. All they do, he said, is just use the firepower that they have and destroy everything that comes towards them. So they don't have to do anything. He said it's just gonna blow everybody up on the whole front or whatever these guys are trying to advance. And he said the Ukrainians do not have the power, the military power, the manpower. That's first. Secondly, the Russians will just shell the shit out of whoever advances, or that area where these guys are trying to break the front. So he said it's impossible. Now, he's a human being, and we human beings are making mistakes, and sometimes we make bad assessments and judgments. I do not see any flaws in what he says. the weather, the manpower, the army, the infantry attacking, which is kind of lacks, and then the other side's firepower that they have. Now, this is what McGregor says, and I agree with that. He doesn't talk about Russia invading further or using, advancing. He doesn't say anything about that. Another interesting thing that I think we have to keep in mind is, from an economic standpoint, in the East, the Russians are going to be okay economically. It seems like. I mean, they've been under sanctions, 6 months and a half. It doesn't seem that they will be freezing this winter, but I know who's going to be freezing. And it's not going to be the Russians, it's going to be the other guys over there. And it's not going to be necessarily the Ukrainians, but it's going to be the Europeans. And the Europeans are the ones that need to be changed to put pressure on United States. McGregor also says that it's not the Europeans who are in control here, it is Washington, D.C. And I agreed with that. I've been saying that for months already. He also says that until Washington says stop, tells Zelensky to stop, nothing will stop, unfortunately, he says. The thing is, there will be changes in Europe, in the political sphere, which is, you saw people in Italy burning their bills, energy bills. You saw people, I think, in Great Britain refusing to pay energy bills. And you saw people in Czech Republic showing up, like 70,000 people in Prague. And I saw videos of that. So people are starting to show up, and that would change certain politicians. McGregor also thinks that Macron will go and Scholz. I totally agree with that, but the problem is when. And if they go, what's going to happen? They're going to put pressure on who? They have to put pressure on Washington, D.C., and he said, McGregor, which I agree, nothing changes over there because we don't do anything. So the thing that's they're going to go the way they go right now is going to be and this is the economic and political factor. As I said, political, he says, is Washington, D.C., and interesting enough, I think he posted them yesterday and the day before, these two videos, a minute each of them. Yesterday, I think they're yesterday posted. So he says things that are obvious, I would say, and it's very obvious that the guys in Washington dictate everything that happens in Ukraine, including that they really plan whatever Ukrainian army is doing. So it's the economic. These guys are freezing, but the guys in here know yet. Then it's going to be the political. These guys are going to be changed, but not over there. The other aspect that could change everything would be if Putin and his guys are taken out. You know what I mean? So if they're out and weasels come, then they will stop everything and everything is done. These are the only options that I see. And the other ones, I don't know, they're crazies who say, yeah, the Ukrainians will advance and push the Russians out. I think that's really, wishful thinking and ideology-based conclusion from some people. Don't even listen to those guys. I'm telling you that. It's just so stupid that you can't even... But if that happens, it happens. I don't see how that would happen, but whatever. I give that 1%. So mid-October, everything will, the guns will, I don't know if the guns will shut off or be quiet, but at least there will not be probably people and movements of tanks and all those kind of things. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.